Hello everyone, my name is Sudha Agarwal and welcome to our channel Focus Solution. In part 4 of session 3 of Angular 11 mean stack tutorial, we'll be seeing what are callback functions and promises. In JavaScript, we treat functions as an object. So we can pass these functions as a parameter to another function. So callbacks are functions. Callback is a function that is executed after another function has finished executing. It is passed as an argument into another function and can be returned by other functions. The callbacks they are to make sure that certain code doesn't execute until other code has already finished. So we can pass functions as parameters to other functions and call them inside the outer function. So why do we need callback functions? We need these callback functions because JavaScript runs code sequentially in top-down order. However, in some cases, we want code to run after something else has happened. Suppose we are waiting for some data to come from server. So we want some function to perform only after we have received the data from the server. So this is also called as asynchronous programming, where we don't want the code to run sequentially. So callback makes sure that a function is not going to run before a task is completed, but will run right after the task has completed. So it will help us develop asynchronous JavaScript code and keeps us safe from problems and errors. So in JavaScript, the way to create a callback function is to pass it as a parameter to another function and then call it back right after something has happened or some task is completed. So let's see how we can create a callback function. So let's see one example how we can use callback functions for asynchronous programming. So let's see one example how I can use callback functions for asynchronous programming. So let's create one file, callback.ts file. So what basically we will create one function do homework message callback. So basically what we are doing in this function, we are calling creating a function do homework that will print some message and it will call the callback function. Oops, spelling is wrong. Okay. So what we'll do is that we just print something console.log. So we have entered into this function. So we'll write console.log starting my So we'll print on the console starting my homework. Now we'll use one set timeout function of JavaScript. This function basically execute an expression or a function after a set interval that is provided in milliseconds. So we'll write set timeout. It takes two parameters. First is the function that is to be executed and second parameter is the time. It is a delay. The time is in the delay after which this function will get executed. So we'll write it like this, set timeout. It will take two parameters. First is the function. And if we are passing a function as a parameter and we are not providing any name, then that function is called as anonymous function. So we'll pass the function, write the coding definition over here only. So we'll write function. Second parameter is the delay in milliseconds. 1000 milliseconds means 1 second. So I want this function to be executed after 1 second. So I'll just write console.log still doing my homework. After this, I'll write callback. So basically, it will call the callback function. Now, where is the callback function? We haven't provided any definition for the callback function. So we'll provide it over here. Now we'll call this function do homework. So we'll call it, write it like this, do homework. First, I'll pass the message. Message is the subject which I am doing homework. So I'll just write math. Now I'll pass the callback function. So one way is that I can create this function somewhere else and pass the name over here, or I can provide the function definition over here. So I'll just write function. Again, it is an anonymous function. So I'll write console.log finished doing my homework. Now, basically what we are doing in this, we are calling the function do homework and we are passing the subject math in this parameter message, and this function definition would be passed in this variable callback. Now, when we call this function, first this print statement would get printed. Then we are calling the set timeout function. It takes two parameters. One is the function and second is the delay. So here I am creating one more function, one more anonymous function, and here we'll pass console.log still doing my homework. Then we are calling this callback function, means here I am calling this function. So this gets printed. So this will get printed only after I have finished printing this thing. Okay, so in this way we have done asynchronous programming. So now we'll run it. First we'll compile it. We'll run it. Oops, I haven't saved it. Callback.ts. Run it. Callback.js file. So as you've seen, when I'll run this program, first it will print this statement, then it will have a delay of 1 second. After that, this line would get printed, and after that, this callback function would get called. So in this way, we have passed a function as a parameter to this function. We have passed this function as a parameter to some other function as a callback. So this is a callback function. JavaScript is an event-driven programming language. We also use callback functions for event declarations. That will cover in the future tutorial. So what is a promise in JavaScript? The promise object represents the eventual completion or failure of an asynchronous operation and its resulting value. A promise is like a promise in real life. When we make a promise in real life, it is a guarantee that we are going to do something in the future. Because promises can only be made for the future. And if we make a promise, it can have two possible outcomes. It will either be kept or it won't be. Means either the promise will be fulfilled or the promise will get rejected. So when we define a promise in JavaScript, it will be resolved when the time comes or it will get rejected. So first of all, in JavaScript, promise is an object. There are three states of the promise object. Pending means the initial state when the promise is made before it succeeds or fails. Second stage is resolve, means that the promise has been completed. Or third is rejected, all the promise has been rejected, means that the promise has been failed. So first, when we create a promise, it is in the pending stage, then it will be resolved or rejected. If it is resolved, then the function corresponding callback function would get called, or if it is rejected, then the corresponding callback function will get called. And the last is again, after this, the promise would again be in the pending state. So how we create a promise? Promise is an object in JavaScript. So we'll create it like this. Let promise equal to new promise, and it will take two parameters, resolve and reject. Either the promise will get fulfilled, then resolve would be passed, or if the promise is rejected, then reject parameter would be passed. Okay, then we'll write some code to perform the promise task. If task is completed, if task performed is true, means the promise has been fulfilled, then we'll call the callback function resolve. The promise task was performed successfully, else we'll reject the promise. The rejected promise task was not performed. And then we'll write promise dot then. Here then would be called only if the promise is resolved. So we'll print console.log, whatever the message we are getting from the resolve method. Or if the promise is rejected, then this catch would be called and it will print the message from the reject method. So let's see one example how we can create a promise in JavaScript, and based on the resolve or reject, we can perform different tasks.
How to create and use a promise. We'll create a new file and we'll name it as promise.ts. So first we'll use a constructor to create a promise object. So it would be like into new promise. Okay, this constructor takes two parameters, one for success and one for fail. So we'll pass two constructors, two parameters over here, one for the success resolve and second would be for the failure reject. Okay, and we'll write now. So let's see, we create a variable, let a equal to 1 plus 1. Now if we'll write, if this a is equal to 2, then means the promise is resolved, otherwise the promise is rejected. So right, if a equal to 2, then the promise is resolved, then the promise is success. So right, resolve, we call the method resolve and pass the string success. Else we'll pass reject and write fail. Now we have created a promise which will be success if a is equal to 2, otherwise it would reject. Okay, if the condition is met, the promise will be resolved, otherwise it will be rejected. Okay. So now we have created our first promise. Now let's use it. We use then for resolve promises. Okay. We'll close it over here. Then we'll use this promise. We'll write my promise object. We'll use then for the resolve promises. It will contain the message which we have passed from here. This message variable will contain the message which we have passed it from here. This then method is called after the promise is resolved. Then we can decide what to do with the resolved promise. Okay, so let's see, we print the message what we have received from here on the console. So we'll write it like this. If the promise successful, this line would get printed on the console, and then we'll use catch for all the rejected promises. So we'll use it like this, close it, and then we'll have catch for the rejected promise. Again, we'll print on the console. So in this case, we have created a new promise. It would be resolved when the variable value a is equal to 2, otherwise it would be rejected. Now we'll use this promise object using this then method. It is called when the promise is resolved. So what we are doing, we are printing the value of the resolved message on the console, and the catch is called for error handling, means the promise is rejected and the error message would get printed over here. Oops, there's one extra this thing. Now let's run this example and see what would be the output. First, we'll transpile this program TS file into JS file. Okay, no problem. So we have promise.js over here. So we'll run it, node promise.js. Success message, success. And if we change the value from here, now the promise would get rejected. So again, node promise.js. Now the fail message, promise is rejected and it is printing fail message.
Thanks friends for watching my video. If you like this video, please press like button and share it with your friends. Please write your feedback and suggestions in the comment section. And don't forget to subscribe to our channel for Kids Solutions. Bye bye, happy learning and be future ready.